Welcome to RidgeLife, I'm Tim, and today we're going to put in a 1 acre food plot. We've got a field over an acre in size that we're going to put a food plot in for deer hunting this year. Now we're a little bit behind on the season to get it in, but we're right on the cusp of it, so we should be okay. We're going to do it with limited resources. We don't have a Culti-Packer and a seed drill and all those things. We're going to do it with some of the basic things that a lot of homesteaders and farmers have on their farm. We're going to do it with a tractor that's got a box blade. We're going to do it with a bag seeder, and we're going to do it with a tank sprayer. First of all, I want to show you this Yard Tough shoulder broadcast spreader I bought off Amazon. I think you'll like it. I put the link in the description. It worked really good for doing this plus acre food plot. Now I know it'd be a lot easier if you had one that was mounted on the back of your ATV or behind your tractor. We didn't have that, but this thing did a great job. It is a canvas bag, has the adjustable strap here, all metal gearing, so it should last you a long time. Adjustable flow control, I'll show you that. And you have a spread chart built into the unit, so you ain't gotta go keep finding the paper that came with it. And it spreads seed, fertilizer, and so much more. You can see this Yard Tough sprayer. Now it holds a lot down inside this bag. It lasted a long time. I only had to fill it a few times to do that full acre. You can see the metal gearing here, all metal gearing, no plastic gearing to break on you. The flow control works really well. You can pull it back and it clicks in place, like right there, and you adjust how much you want by sliding this bar forward, and then when you're done, you just slide that down and it closes the opening up so no seed or fertilizer falls out unexpectedly. Right down here on the bottom is your chart, tells you what you're doing and what setting it needs to be on and spread rate. It's really, really nice. For fertilizer, I used a water-soluble blend. I put it in my 30-gallon tank sprayer and pulled it behind the four-wheeler, and Did a real good job. I used 2 25-pound bags for my 1 acre. Now, the amount you use is going to depend on your soil test. You know, if you want to check your soil, it'll tell you what pH, and if you need to add lime to it, which usually you need to add a lot of lime, or you need to add your fertilizer. So for what we did today was 30-10-10. You may use completely different for your application, but I used 50 pounds of 30-10-10 added to my 30-gallon tank sprayer, drug it around the food plot, and got it prepared for rain. For seed this year, I used 2 different types for the food plot. This is a food plot seed, quick stand, no-till forage by Plot Spike Seed. It covers 22,000 square feet. It is tetraploid ryegrass, brassica, and clover. If we look at the back, it shows you the times to plant this. Now, we are in this blue region here. We're in West Tennessee. So it's August 1st to October 31st. And we got in here right at the beginning of October. Normally, I like to get my food plot in a little bit before that for our November deer season. Of course, we also do bow hunt. So we're hunting out here in September and October as well. But we are at the beginning of October, so we're in the range for this product, and we got it in, and it's going to work out really great for us. The second seed we planted was this Biologic deer plot. This is 45 pounds, and it does 1 acre on its own. So we had 1 acre and 22,000 square feet of seed, and now we did just over an acre, so that's going to be just about right for us. Now, the Biologic food plot here is mostly wheat, oats, rapeseed, and radish. Now, that's going to be mixed in with our clover and our brassica. It's going to be a really good fall cold weather mix for our deer hunting this year. Now, for the amount of fertilizer you use, here it says 400 pounds of Biologic pH fertilizer or 300 pounds of 13-13-3 per acre. Now, we only put in 50 pounds, of our fertilizer, or liquid fertilizer. So now, one thing about our field we put this in, last year this was a small growth clear cut. So it had been clear cut, 9-10 years ago, and we had trees this big around, smaller and bigger, growing up in this field. And we had a forestry mulcher come in and mulch all that down, forestry grinder, grind all that down, and you can see on the video today, in the center of that field, it is black. All that mulch has turned into really good compost, and we mixed it around the field, so we got built-in fertilizer right there in our field. Now, to plant this seed, it says the best plant is 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep for best germination. And we used our box blade to prepare the field for planting, and what we did was we tilted the box blade forward and lowered our tines all the way down to act as a plow. Normally we have these up when we're just using our box blade. So having the tines all the way down really allowed us to use our box blade as a plow to plow up that first inch or two and turn over that soil. And you can see in the video, we turned it over really nicely, went around it, round and round, then we crisscrossed, and we got a good turnover of the soil and loosened it up really nicely before we had that seed to soil germination point. We got our first rain since planting our food plot here, and let's go have a check and see if we can see any germination. It's probably not, just got the rain, but it looks like it's going to do really good for us. I'm very happy with the amount of rain we had in a relationship to when we planted. So let's see if we have any sprouts coming up. We planted this field several days ago, and we got our rain, and we should start seeing a little bit of sprouting coming up. I see a few things that may be starting to sprout, but it's hard to tell right now. We'll check back later. Hopefully we'll come out and give you some live tours of the property here pretty soon on RidgeLife. But right now it looks like we're just going to give it a little time and let this food plot grow. Well, hope everyone enjoyed watching us put our late season food plot in this year. We're crossing our fingers that the germination is going to happen with the rain we had in relationship to when we planted our seed. I think it's going to work out great for the end of bow season here, getting into rifle season. I think we're going to have a lot of really nice forage for our deer coming out of the woods over here. We know we've got a lot of nice deer back in them woods, and there's tons and tons of acorns out in the woods right now. I want to get them out here coming this late fall, early winter, into our field, eating our browse before they head off into the fields of our adjoining neighbors. They got lots of big fields with all kinds of, beans and corn and all that stuff left over. But we'd like them staging up in here before they go over there. That'd be really nice for us to feel safe and comfortable and have this big field here, maybe they'd even just call this home, and the big guys would come for all the does. We'll just never know what deer do, but we're getting some nice bucks on our trail cams if you watch those, and we know we have the doe here. Having the doe is going to bring the bucks when it comes rut time. So we don't take all of our does, but we do take a lot because we get a lot of does here on the ridge. So we want to keep our doe level, our population under control, and make sure we have a little bit of opportunity to get some of those big bucks. Of course, we're not horn hunters here, antler hunters on the ridge. It's nice to manage your bucks, but we're not gonna not get a deer during deer season because it didn't have big enough antlers. That's a little egotistical to me to manage your whole deer population based on the size of the antlers. I want healthy deer, I want the right number of deer, and I want a freezer with some deer meat and some venison in it. If I have big deer and no venison in my freezer, I feel I fail as a land and deer manager for our property. I want to keep a full freezer, and I don't want to shoot all the little spike bucks. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to shoot all the does out, so there's no reason for bucks not to come here. But I do want to have venison in the freezer and feed our family with it. So, an oblong, fork buck comes out, we're going to take him. If you got a nice 6 or 8 point that looks like it may be a little bit better next year, we'll take the 4 point before then that has the wonky antlers. It's not about antlers for sure. It's not just brown, it's down. It's kind of a mix between those two to really manage, in my opinion, manage your property effectively. So again, we're not big game hunters here where we're trying to get, Pope and Young and Boone and Crockett trophies on our wall, but if we get one, that's nice. Because, we only have less than 40 acres here, so we're not going to keep deer here on our property. If I let that nice 12 point, walk because he can be a giant deer next year, he's not going to be here. Our neighbors are going to take him out. So we're also not going to shoot him to oblivion too, so we don't have any bucks at all on the property. So you can see where we're going with our deer management philosophy here, and I guarantee not everybody prescribes to that or agrees with it, but it's working for us. We took 6 deer last year here on the property, 2 bucks and 4 does. I love that ratio. 2 of them had CWD, so we didn't eat those 2, and that's just my choice, my preference based on the CDC guidelines. We did not eat those 2, but the other 4 were tasty. We'll be back out here soon to check on this food plot, and hopefully we'll take you along with us and let you see the updates. So until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife.